Somebody tell me who it was. I think it's Journey, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's probably Journey because they're talking about Journey in the chat room.
Yeah. All right. Hey, okay. Let's kick this thing off and get it going here tonight. Got a couple of neat little things to talk about. So welcome to everybody out there. You are tuned in to Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a show about ham radio. And we're on here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, right here on W5KUB.com. You can find us on YouTube under W5KUB, but you're not going to find the chat room there. We run our own chat room, and it's for a lot of different reasons. We have a lot more control and can do a lot more with our own chat room. So, and in fact, Hambot actually was built to operate on an IRC chat room, and we tried him on the YouTube chat room, and it was just a failure. Anyway, welcome everybody out there, and want to say hello especially to shortwave listeners out there. You know, many of us got our start in ham radio by being shortwave listeners. I remember the big old Zenith radio with the big dial in it, and I was probably 15 years old, and tuning and listening to all these signals, you know, Radio Moscow and Havana, Cuba, Quito, Ecuador. Man, that was kind of cool back then. So welcome all you shortwave listeners out there. You're a part of this group. And if you will, and I know you're listening out there on WBCQ, low power, 50,000 watts, coming to you out of Monticello, Maine. But shoot us an email and let us know where you are and how you're hearing the station. So you can send that email to Tom at W5KUB.com. Tom at W5KUB.com. Also, hey, I need you to subscribe, if you will. It really helps our show out. So I'm going to help you out here. That little arrow I just put there, that tells you where to go, I think, to subscribe. So if you'll kind of look down here somewhere around that arrow, it should tell you where you can click to subscribe to our channel. And, you know, subscribe and hit that notify bell button, because sometimes we come on and we have something in between the week that you don't want to miss. So please do that. If you're out there listening on shortwave, you can join the live video show just by coming to W5KUB.com and at 8 o'clock Tuesday nights. And you can also enter into our chat room there and talk with other people that are watching the show and talk directly to us. So we have a good time there. Hey, join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is follows this show. It's a great ham radio Facebook group. We've got about 13,000 hams in that group now. And if you will, just search for W5KUB, W5KUB, and that will put you in our Facebook ham radio group, and we'll approve you and get you right in there. So please do that. Also, just, hey, while we're talking about all the different ways we're getting out there to people, don't forget, we're on nearly every podcast carrier there is out in the world out there. We're on iTunes, iNet Radio, Google Play. All the people are carrying us out there. You can listen to our show anytime, day or night. Everything's recorded. Everything's archived. I forgot to throw the picture up. WBCQ right there. Look at that nice summertime picture. Boy, I tell you, I don't think I'd want to live way, way, way up here in North Glen.
Actually, today I will go up there. It was 101 degrees today.
Man, look at that right there. Man, I'd hate to see it in December or January, man.
Well, that's true, but
that snow gets deep up here, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're going to be another 100 tomorrow, and then they say we're going to get the fall, and I'm going to bet that we go straight from summer to winter.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you know what?
I'm all for going up there right now.
We had a cool front come through here. It was like 83 the last couple of days. And tomorrow, I think it's going to be like 105 or something. I mean, it's
something like that.
They turned the blowtorch back on for tomorrow. Now, I did get a lot of my satellite and my rotors and my antennas fixed up. I got just about another half hour work to do on them up here. but it looks like I'm gonna have to do it in 105-degree heat with probably about 80% humidity, man.
Oh, I got
gee.
real lucky. My air conditioner died just as it got to that little cool front, and they got it fixed yesterday morning just as it was crossing into 100 degrees.
Yeah, all right, man. Hey, I feel sorry for you, man. Lose your air conditioner.
It was hot.
Plus, not only losing it, it's just the cost of getting those things fixed. You know.
Yeah, that's life. But
they must, those air conditioning systems must have catalytic converters on them. You know, where they got that platinum and everything in them. You know, and
yeah,
and that way, that makes them real expensive. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've just got unobtainium running inside the tubes.
Hey, to get off subject, talking about catalytic converters, I was reading one of the neighborhood posts here. Somebody said at 5:30 they heard some noise outside, and somebody was underneath their car sawing off the catalytic converter. Man, they didn't get it. They got spooked out of there, but left a couple good cuts.
Oh yeah, they got some. The office that I work in is pretty much a 24-hour call center as well. And in the middle of the night, they would come in and help themselves to a couple catalytic converters, and it's a fenced-in compound.
Yeah.
So go figure.
Man, too bad we can't just shoot people like that. You know? Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. It'd be so much more fun. Actually, they even stole a car from inside the compound and drove it right through the fence.
Maybe. Nah, I won't get into that. I won't get into I had an idea, but it's too controversial. I'll stay away from that.
Just electrify the catalytic converter.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that right now. I don't even know where I was going here. Let's see. Hey, I think next week we probably are going to have you do your forum on here about Arduino and the next generation. Probably, I think that's what's going to be geared up for next week. So I want everybody to be sure and remember and tune in next week for that, because you've got some exciting new things happening there.
That was the one that I did in Huntsville. So it was recorded live in front of a studio audience. And that was the first time that I did that. And to me, that's probably the best forum and Arduino presentation that I have done to this point. It was really a lot of fun.
Well, great. Hey, I noticed a call in here earlier that I recognized. I think I recognize it. KD8QDP. Now, how did I recognize that? Well, I'm working with a friend of mine, AA6DY, up in Chicago area, and we're doing a lot of balloon building and modifying and so forth. And I believe the KD8 QDP was one of the calls that was put on a couple of balloons that were launched about a week or 10 days ago. QDP, if that was you, tell us in the chat room. Maybe I have this all wrong. Sometimes to me, all these call letters look alike here. But hey, we're going to give you an update a little later tonight on W5KUB-112. We're stuck up in the Arctic somewhere, and we're up there pretty high. You can't go any higher. And the sun is out all day, but the sun never gets higher than about that high right there. All day.
The sun 5-6 feet off the ground.
Yeah, the sun don't get but about 5 or 6 feet off the ground the whole day. That's when it peaks out, man. So we're just flying around almost, we're in radio silence up there right now. So we're going to talk about that.
Well, the KD8 QDP in the chat room says it's not him, but thanks for thinking it was.
Oh, okay, it's like, well, just erase that. Just everybody just back up and forget I said that. I have to go look it up. I sure thought it was QDP. Anyway, okay. Let's see who's in the chat room.
Yeah,
here.
tell me. I was driving into the sun going to work today, and man, it's brutal right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And when your windshield's a little dirty and that sun is just right on it, it really makes it tough, man. I
get the dew in the morning, and I don't get it cleared off before I start heading east, and I'm usually blinded by the time I get to the end of my street.
Well, hey, I got a couple things to talk about tonight, and we'll probably open the lines a little bit earlier tonight. I'm trying to get my satellite station built back up, and I also want to try some EME, some digital EME with it. But my antennas were out of commission because my rotors wouldn't turn. Neither rotor, the azimuth or the elevation rotor, just were dead. So last week I got them down and I pulled the rotors off. I took them out in my shop out there and did a little maintenance and work on them. Got them running there. Got some pictures just to show you here. And Glenn, you're probably an expert on these rotors too, but let's see, and you can fill in here. Let's see what we got. There we are. We got two different rotors right there. That one on the left is an Alliance. I think it's an HD 73 Alliance rotor. I've had that rotor about 50 years. That rotor has been running for half a century. And then right to the right of that is a Kenpro elevation rotor that Yaesu finally bought out and rebranded it. That was the Yaesu, it's a Kenpro elevation rotor. Now, neither one of those would work. Man, they were just dead from down here.
The Yaesu one turned into the Kenpro turned into the Yaesu G5400.
Yeah. And
that's what I've got here is the Yaesu version of that.
Yeah. That one on the right is the Kenpro KP500, I think, is the model if somebody asked about it. I haven't actually activated my 9700 yet. I haven't even turned it on yet. That's going to be interesting. I didn't realize it had 1200. It's got 1200 megs in it.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, well, heck, now I got to get another antenna up on the roof.
Yeah, well, boy, that's going to take some feed line too.
And another run of coax. Yeah.
So let's continue to talk about rotors here, man. And again, I'm going to go over what I have to work with. I don't have just. I've got great capabilities for wire antennas. I've got 100-foot trees all around my house, and I still have probably 40 or 50 that are standing. Probably 20 have fallen on the house over the last 10 years. But I got a lot of space for wire antennas. We've got a 1 acre lot here, so it's fairly good size. This is I'm standing on a little flat roof. This is over a back porch that's got a flat roof, and that's where I have my satellite antennas. And that's looking north, so you can see down toward the horizon. There's a lot of trees down toward the horizon there.
Oh, you just need to get out there with your chainsaw.
Yeah, or some of those trees need to fall there.
Yeah. Now, also, if you had zoomed back a little bit, you'd see the target that's painted on the corner of your roof for all those 20 trees to be falling on.
Yeah. Let's see if I think I got some more pictures here. Let's see. Now, okay. Now, looking to the west, there's my rotor. There's my azimuth rotor right there, and the antennas, of course, sit on top of that. Now, you were looking to the north. Now you're looking to the west. You're looking to the west. I've got to shoot through the house.
Yeah.
I got to shoot through the house to the west. But
you're going to be restricted to some pretty, high angle overhead passes.
But it works. It works. I can shoot through the house. The signal does go through the house. There's some attenuation there. But that's my western view. Now think about this. Anything up at about a 45 degree or higher, I've got clear sky. But when I'm aimed straight at the horizon, this is what is in my way. Mm-hmm. So let's see. That was west, and this is south. You can see I'm south there. I got a lot of vegetation to the south right there.
Yeah.
And I had an east picture. Let's see. I don't know where my east picture is, but anyway. So that's kind of where we are. And again, neither rotor worked. So let's see. I don't have these in any particular order. Let me do this.
See, I got really lucky. I've got a line of pine trees to the north. right next to my house, but everything else is clear skies, no trees in the way.
Yeah.
You know, from horizon level.
And in the wintertime, I lose all those leaves, and it pretty much opens up in the wintertime here, which is great because I'm wanting to try to do some EME, and you need to do that down toward the horizon. So I'm gonna have to kind of shoot between the trees there. So
you're just gonna have to get out in the middle of the night and take down some trees.
Yeah. Well, there's the owner's manual. That's the Alliance HD73. Like I said, that thing has been going now for about 50 years at least. Now, I want to tell you, all you guys out there, if somebody gives you a tower or gives you a rotor, first of all, be aware, towers can kill you, and rotors might not be a lot of fun. If you have not opened up a rotor before, you need to be very careful. This particular Alliance rotor here has over 100 ball bearings in it. You see the top ring right there? There's also a lower ring of bearings in there. And if you pull that thing apart and are holding it sideways, let me tell you, you're going to be looking for ball bearings for the next 6 months in your shop.
Amen. Yes.
You'll
been
be
there,
looking for
done that.
You might as well just go ahead and order you some new bearings because you're not going to find them. All right?
I think I've got several packages over here.
So you can see here. This is inside my Alliance rotor there. And it looks like I've just cleaned up one strip around there of ball bearings. Those look pretty clean there. And, I think the mistake I made probably a couple years ago, I put just regular grease in there. Yeah. And that regular grease, it just turns into, I don't know what it turns into.
It just kind of, it bakes and turns into clay.
Yeah, into clay. That's pretty much it is. So, what I used this time, I've got some lithium spray grease that I just sprayed those bearings with that lithium grease. So be careful, man, when you take these things apart. I'm just warning you right now. You might not get it back together. Think it through. Think it through. So. There's another shot of the track there and some of the bearings. And again, there's bearings above and below what you're seeing here.
Yeah, it's fun to put it back together.
Yeah. And there it is upside down. And if I had knocked that thing over, I would have had a big problem because I was just putting those bearings back in there on the bottom side. And you got a ring collar that slides over that and bolts down right there. So. You got to be careful there, man. You got to be careful. I'll see what else I got. A lot of gears in there.
I forget what grease I used on mine, but it's a heavy, almost an automotive rear end grease, but it's not the standard grease.
Yeah, a lot of gears in there. You got a little bitty motor and a lot of gears that gear ratios that have to all work together there. Now, here's a shot here. You might not know what this is. There's a plastic gear in there. And if you look at that little brown spot, you might wonder what that is. Well, that gear cracked about 35 years ago. That gear actually had a crack across there. And I got another piece of plastic, and I glued it on top of that gear right there over that crack.
Wow.
And it has been rock solid for the last 35 years, and it still looks, okay.
I bet if you got a 3D printer, you could probably print you a new one of those.
Well, I could, but, I wonder, my question would be, how durable would that material be that you print
you can
with?
get carbon fiber.
Oh, okay.
Extrusion material, filament now.
Okay.
So I'm sure it would be very durable.
Yeah. So you can see there, that's kind of like the attic over my second story. To the west, I don't have a good shot to the west. I don't have a good shot to the south. I don't have a good shot anyway, really. But there it is, back on the workbench, put together. Got some power to it. And, hey, it turns. I wore it out, turning it back and forth. Oh, Glenn, when I first hooked it up in the shop, and I hit the button, it didn't turn. It didn't turn. Now, this is before I worked on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I took it down because it was dead. It didn't turn. And you know what? I put my head on that rotor, and I just nudged that rotor a 1/16 of an inch and hit that button, and it started turning.
Yeah, you broke the freeze.
Yeah. I mean, it was like nothing, man. Anyway, so I'm hoping, and our re-grease and clean things up, so I'm hoping it's working better.
I nudge my rotors, every so often just for that very reason.
Yeah. So my installation is kind of semi-temporary. As I mentioned, this is a flat roof over a back porch area, and if you look at that roof, that's over a 12-12 pitch roof, and that's pretty difficult for me to walk on or climb on. I don't know how those guys walk around on it.
Yeah,
but it would be difficult for me. I'd probably end up in the hospital if I tried going up on the roof and mounting that somewhere. So I decided just to mount the tripod on this flat roof. And what I did, I got me a pallet, and I welded me a frame together with four legs on it and braces, and screwed it to the pallet. And that's what I've been using. But I decided I got to replace the pallet. Look at the pallet's starting to rot. You see it right there?
Yeah.
The pallet's starting to rot, and that's been up there probably 6 or 7 years. So I went out and found me a new pallet today, and I'm doing some modifications to it, putting some braces inside it there where the mount will sit down on top of it, and it will screw in with the lag bolts. So we'll be putting that back up there, and we'll be putting the weights back on it. And there's not a lot of antenna. It's kind of wind's blocked with the house, and it's pretty sturdy up here, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's the Alliance rotor. That's the Alliance rotor. And here's the Kenpro / Yaesu market rotor later. And this is the elevation rotor with the control box there, and I just started taking it apart. It was stuck solid. It would not turn at all. And I tell you, I've never opened this before, so I didn't know what to expect as far as,
I don't think I've ever been inside
as far as
one of
bearings
those.
coming out and everything. But what I found out, there's a little race in each end that holds the bearings. They snap in, so the bearings wouldn't actually have fallen out of this. But there's a lot of parts again in these things, so you got to be careful taking these things apart or pulling these parts out, and you got to get them all back in right if you want this thing to work right. So it wouldn't turn. Here's the cover off. It wouldn't turn at all, and so I thought, well, maybe it's a capacitor in the control box. I changed that out. That didn't help. I reached my finger over that little plate there, and I tried to turn the motor, and man, it won't turn. So I take the motor out right there, and I try to turn the motor, and it is frozen solid, man. The motor is frozen solid. So I give it a real hard twist, and it comes loose, and it spins freely. And, of course, I put some lithium lubricant in there on the shaft, but it started spinning well. And of course, while I had it off, I cleaned the places, cleaned all the bearings off, and put the lithium grease and stuff back on there, and greased up the gears, and get it all back together, and it's working. So let's see, that's the south view. Yeah, so what we can see here is, if I can find the view here I'm looking for. Oh, here's interesting. Guys, you might not know what that is. I took it off. That is a camera. That is a wireless camera that I had on the end of that 13-element beam. And the reason for that is you could aim straight down through the elements, and you could aim it at the moon by watching the television screen in the shack. So it would provide great aim for getting those things right on the moon. Now, I need to get me some better cameras or something to put up there, a little bit better connection. I was not real satisfied with that. But you can see I had a camera on there at one time. There's some of the bearings, how they fit in here. And if you look closely, you can see there's a little ring that they snap into. So this one's not quite as dangerous to take apart. So anyway, got them back together, and let's see. This is typically kind of what they look like on the roof. You know, I got the 440 and the 2 meter there. You can see the elevation rotor at the top. You can see the azimuth rotor at the bottom. Now, that 2 meter antenna there was only a 5 element. So when I would aim it straight up, the bottom of the antenna would miss the roof of the building. But when I put that 13 element on there, I had to put a longer pipe in that rotor right there. Looks like maybe Bill. Let me get Bill in here. So I had to put a longer pipe in here because the 13 element beam, once I aimed straight up, it was hitting the roof of the floor there that it was sitting on. So anyway, that's an old picture of the 440 and the 2 meters on there, kind of up at about a 45-degree angle. Walter came over and helped me take it down. It's almost just a little bit over my head, and although those beams don't weigh much, when you get that rotor at the top of that pipe, and you try and hold that thing up over your head and drop it down in that bottom rotor, it gets a little heavy. So I need to get Walter over, and actually it'll be easy because we'll just tilt this base and we'll plug in that top mast, and then we'll set the base back up on that new pallet, and hopefully we'll be good for another 5 years or so. So that's kind of where we are with our satellite system. I hope that in the next month we can try to get something on, maybe start working a few of the satellites. Again, I'm more interested in trying to work EME, but I think I'm going to have to wait till the leaves get off the trees before I can do EME there. I think Bill joined us. Bill, you there? Well,
yeah, I just wanted to mention that I had a HD73 for many years, and I've had very heavy loads on them, and it worked great. In fact, it survived a direct hit by a tornado. The antenna, the tower, and part of the house did not survive, but the HD73 worked great. I just pulled it off the twisted mast that used to be my antenna and my tower, and put up a new tower and put up the HD73. I didn't even have to clean it up any. It worked great. So it's built like a tank. It's a great rotor.
It's a good rotor. Again, I for many years I had a Mosley Classic 33 tri-bander up on it, plus 2 meters, plus some other things. And it's always worked out well for me. It's always handled it. And rotors are expensive now.
I had a 3-element quad on that thing, and it was heavy. And it was the tri-band quad, and then I had a TA36, a TH6 DXX. So had some big heavy loads on that thing, and out in the countryside, the flatlands in the Midwest, it was definitely a lot of wind. And by the way, your show a couple weeks ago cost me some money.
Yeah, I knew it was probably about $250.
That's right. I had to get one.
Yeah.
See if I got it there.
I
I just got it in, and I'm have a lot of fun playing with this. It's really well built and very solid. So I'm excited to get it on the air here. I'm just loading the software in it as we speak.
Yeah, I played with mine a little bit. I haven't had it on in quite a while, but it's a neat little receiver there. And I've got I bought that.
SD play. I got the Duo, the one that had the two frequencies at once. So I went and got the two.
I bought that. What is it? That little $60 computer. That might run with that.
Yeah.
SDR play. It's pretty good Windows. A little Windows 10. If they're not running anything else on it, might run it. Might run it. Well, let me know how that.
Probably won't run on a Chrome.
It won't run on what? What was that, Bill?
I said it probably won't run on a Chromebook, but I think you've got a full-blown Windows laptop there.
Yeah. Well, I've got a bunch of those. Yeah, I may have to put it on something like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, let's see. There's a lot of comments about my pallet here. Make it last longer. Well, pallets are pretty cheap. I just went up to Lowe's and they gave me one. So, hey, I can replace my pallet every 5 years, I guess. So, anyway, hey, I'm looking forward to getting it working here. It's getting cool enough I can work on it. It's been too hot to do it. Hey, let me ask you a question there real quick. Bill, you've had COVID. Are you over it yet?
Oh, yeah. It was 2 weeks of feeling pretty rough, but the last week has been good.
All right.
I'm back to my abnormal self.
Were you positive like for 2 weeks?
No, I just felt
okay.
lousy and not like I didn't have any energy.
Yeah. I was positive.
I didn't test positive after about 5 days.
Yeah. I was positive for 1 week. Kathy was positive for about 2 weeks. And like you said, man, even after that, you want to take a nap, man, all the time, man. You want to get some rest. Yeah. All right. So
the week after, during my second week, I was just laying around a lot.
All right.
I remember when I had it, I was just pretty useless.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm useless anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, as I mentioned, we may have some new people coming in next week. I think Glenn is going to have his. We're going to do Glenn's forum on here next week and let you hear all about the next generation of Arduino that he's working on. And then a couple weeks after that, I think I'm going to be out of here. Not sure what we're going to do, but I'm going to head over to Russellville, Arkansas. I may attend a club meeting on Tuesday night over there with the Arkansas River Valley Club. Might even give a presentation. I'm not sure. But that's where I went to college. And, man, I hadn't been over in about 50 years. And I want to go look at look at the campus again. And when I was there, each year I moved into a new dorm. The last dorm was called Payne Hall. The new dorm, Payne Hall. But you know what, Glenn? That was 50 years ago. It ain't new. It ain't new no more, man.
No.
But I looked. It's still there. I did a Google map, and it's still there. Now I just wonder I'm sure they've gone in and done some things to it, but we got away. We were electrical engineering, and we got away with some crazy things there. We actually put a radio. I built a radio station here in the floor of the room one week, and we ran a long wire out the window, and we didn't have back then. You didn't have phones in your room, but there was a phone on the wall right outside our door, and so we would play records, and people would call that phone, and we would play records for them. I want to see. I don't know if I can get in there or not, but when I get there, when I get up here, I'm going to try to go in the dorm and see if they'll let me in, and let me see if they'll take me to one of my old room. I know right where it was. I want to see what it looks like. And back then, all these rooms had their own air conditioning system in each room, and basically it had a blower switch on it, and it was either on or off. There wasn't no thermostats in the room. You just had to turn it on or off. At least
you had air.
Put it on low, whatever. Well, my roommate Doug and I always had a junk box with a lot of stuff in it, and I had a thermostat and some relays and stuff. And we took the front off that air conditioner one day there, and we wired into the circuit there, I guess into the motor circuit there with the blower and everything, and we put the thermostat on there, and we hung it on the wall. Now, that was probably the only room in that entire dorm that had a thermostat in the room. And I know there's no chance that thermostat is still going to be on the wall after 50 years, but I want to go in that room and see if I can get any memories of how it was back then. Oh man! So anyway, that's coming up here or somewhere maybe around October the 4th. I might be going over there around October the 4th, and that will be a Tuesday. So hadn't decided what we'll do for the show yet. We'll try to put something on, or we'll give you notice that maybe we won't have a show, but I don't know. But that's going to be cool to do that. Okay. Hey, just quick announcement again. If you're listening out there on WBCQ, let's see what time it is. Okay. On WBCQ, we'd love to hear from you. If you're listening on shortwave, send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com, Tom at w5kub.com, and tell us where you are in the world and how you're hearing the station. Love to hear from you. Join our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB. We've got 13,000 hams in that Facebook group, and would love to have you. Hey, this week was the 75th birthday of the U.S. Air Force. There we go. Well, I think I got a picture here. Let's see. There we go. Look at there. There we go. There I am. United States Air Force right there. That was some of my early days in the Air Force there. And, gee, man, the Air Force is just a little bit older than me, actually. Not too much. I think they got about a year on me. But
yeah, man, they'd take anybody back then, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they really would, man. They really would. All right, look, hey, let's take just a quick break, and I'll be right back. And I got something I want to show you guys. Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh.
I want to show you this in a few minutes. And I just took it out of the box. So I just got it. So let me
nice.
Stay tuned, everybody, and we're gonna look at that in just a minute. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
LDG Electronics provides from QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote. An LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
Keep your competitive contesting edge with ICOM. ICOM's high-powered base stations cut through the pileups, letting you work the bands and record those contacts. Contest from the comfort of your home or remotely with the RS BA1 app. The IC7851 gives you a new window into the RF world and is HF excellence unparalleled. With faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. It is truly the pinnacle of HF perfection. It has dual receivers, digital IF filters, high-resolution spectrum waterfall. The IC7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that has changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. Features include RF direct sampling, 110 dB RMDR, independent dual receivers. Create your own band opening with the IC9700. This transceiver brings direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. This all-mode transceiver is loaded with innovative features that are sure to keep you very busy. It has fast processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. Included are real-time high-speed spectrum scope and waterfall display, smooth satellite operation with 99 satellite channels, dual watch operation, and full duplex operation in satellite mode. The IC7300 is the high-performance innovative HF transceiver with a compact design, and it will far exceed your expectations. This innovative HF transceiver digitizes RF before various receiver stages, reducing inherent noise in different IF stages. The IC7300 changed the way entry-level HF is designed. Features include RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope. For more information on ICOM radios, visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur. Okay. All right, guys, we are, I think we're back. Let's see. Let me click the right button in here. Yeah, we're back. We're back. And I got to unclick this button. Gee. There we go. All right. Hey. All right. Just got it. Just unboxed it. Let me tell you. It's going to be pretty interesting, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, it's Chinese made, of course. A lot of the Chinese things that are Chinese made, I get. A lot of times they don't even come with a manual, a book, or anything. They usually come in a cardboard that's thin, that's really thin, and it's all beat up. This thing came in a very well packed case, very sturdy. Everything was sealed inside. It you know, hey, you know, foam and everything. I mean, it was really well put together. This is a dual trace 100 meg oscilloscope with a signal generator in it. I just got it just an hour ago. Came in through Prime, ordered it through Amazon. Let me see if let me get you a better picture of this thing here.
Those things are amazing. I bet it's got a USB output. So
It does. It does.
Get screenshots of it.
Let me see if I can figure out how to get you guys a better picture. Let me see. Let me find it.
Yeah, I got one a couple
Here
of
we
years
go.
ago.
Here we
and
go.
I
Here we go.
dearly love it.
This might work.
My
This might-
backup is an old Tektronix 465, but I really like the new digital one.
This may work. I don't know. Let's see. See if I can get the camera adjusted where you guys can see this thing. Well, it's getting pretty close. Let's turn it on. There we go. Okay, it's on. It lights up, guys. Man,
Those things are just so nice.
it lit up. What do you think? Let's see if we can get a signal on here.
Two questions. What's the speed and what's the cost?
The cost was about $170.
Wow.
And again, a manual. It comes with two. It comes with 2 times 1 or times 10 probes, and it comes with 1 times 100 probe.
Wow. And that's a
And-
100 megahertz scope?
Yeah, it's a 100 megahertz scope.
Okay.
So
That's a great
let's
price.
take the output of the generator right here. Let's see if we can put a signal in and look at it. I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out as we go, and we'll go into.
That's a really good price. I paid closer to $350 or something for mine
all
a
right.
couple years
so,
back.
So, you know, it'll do square wave, sawtooth, triangle. It'll do all kinds of ways. I've not used it yet. So let's see. This is okay. So there's a sine wave right there. Let's see, and let's see what. Okay, we can move it up and down. On our scope here, that would be scope 1, and we got scope input 2 here. That'd be this line. We could actually put two on top of each other and look at them. It's kind of neat. Everything here, you can read the voltage, you can read the peak to peak, you can read all these things. I mean, the frequency right now, we're on 1 kilohertz. And let me play the generator here. Let's see, we're on 1, you might not read that, but we're on 1 kilohertz.
And that's one of the nice things about all that is you've got the voltage and the frequency readout right there. So it's everything in one nice little package. Yeah.
Now, okay, so I'm not sure what I'm doing, but anyway, you can move it. We can move it. And we can move it up and down. Let's see. So, we can read the voltage. We can, I don't know what all we can read. Let's see. Is there a menu button? I think there's a menu button somewhere.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Usually on mine is the top button.
Menu.
No, over on the top right.
Top right. Yep, there's a menu right there. So if I hit menu, okay. You can see all these things pop up on the menu. Picture browsing, wave browsing, output, capture output, screen brightness, XY mode, calibration, USB export, all these things. So let me turn the menu back off. There we go. So I'm just running the generator. I'm just running the generator into the scope right now. So this is going to be interesting to play with. Let's see if I can get a different. Let me go generator. There's generator. Right now it's showing a sine wave right here. Let's see maybe the arrow keys will change that. Oh, there's square wave. Look, I went to a square wave.
Oh,
there's a sine wave or a square wave. Okay. So let's see, generator. Okay, frequency 1,000 cycles. Let's see. Let's change that a little bit.
Hey, where'd you get that at, Tom?
I just ordered it. This particular model is sold under different names. If you just look for if you just go on Amazon and put in 100 meg dual channel oscilloscope, this will come up. I guarantee you. It's really small. It runs on 5 volts, so you can see how thick it is here. It's got a little cord that plugs in the back right here, but that's a USB cable that plugs in for power. So you can see it's pretty compact. Let's see, it's got a handle here.
Count your blessings, Bill. It's only going to cost you $150 this time.
Got a little handle here. Maybe I can. Well, I don't know. I like to mount it.
I'm going to get off easy this week.
Yeah.
I like to mount it somehow on my workbench. Now, I've got some oscilloscopes and things here, but I wanted something kind of new to play with. And the color in this thing it looks so neat and pretty. I'm sure it's really cheap. I'm sure, but nowadays accuracy. Hey, and you know what? I bet you, Glenn. I bet you the sucker's got an Arduino in it. To tell you the truth.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I think it's probably got something more on the lines of a pick.
Okay, maybe a pick, something simple. But it's rock bottom cheap. And I'm thinking, okay, how could the accuracy be? But with those picks and stuff now, things can be pretty accurate.
Extremely accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's outstanding.
So yeah, this is kind of cool, man. And I'm going to use it. I've got a test board built up of the tracker that we're flying, and we're going to be testing the dual output. Right now we're running the output out of that clock 0 on one antenna, and so on this tracker, the signal coming out of this tracker is a square wave on the top piece of the dipole, I'm not sure what's on the bottom piece. I don't think it has a negative. I mean, you know how on an antenna, on a half-wave antenna, you look at a sine wave, and you know it's positive on one half, and then it goes through the center, and it's negative on the other half. I'm not so sure on this little tracker what the signal looks like. So,
well, it's not going to go below zero because you're not generating anything below zero.
Yeah, and particularly yeah.
The SI 5351 is going to be 0 to maybe 5 volts out, and it's not going to go negative. There's not a negative voltage on
exactly.
the board.
So what we've done, we've programmed the 5351. Okay, so the output is on clock 0. We're putting another output on clock 1, which is 180 degrees out of phase. So we should see on one half the dipole positive square wave, and on the other half the dipole we should see, well, I guess it's going to be a positive square wave, but it'll be 180 degrees out of phase. So I don't know. This is just to play and experiment, and I'm trying to understand how some of this stuff works, you know. But this is really. This is real cool. I'm going to like this. I probably won't learn how to use all the different functions in it. This is called I don't know what it's called. Nursi, F Nursi. I noticed the spelling.
Yeah.
Well, on the box,
RSI.
on the book and on the thing, they got all the letters together. But I believe, well, I saw it listed somewhere as like an F in a space in an NIRSI, Nursi, but F Nursi is what I'd call it. So I don't know if you can see.
It's pretty slick.
But yeah, it's this is going to be a little interesting piece of test equipment to play with, and give me something to do this winter when we get that 1/8 inch of ice and snow out there on the ground.
It'll definitely free up some space in your work area.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it will or not, but we'll see.
Take the big scope out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see. I don't know what we got here. Let's just look at some of these. I don't know. That looks like a sawtooth right there. I guess you'd call that a sawtooth probably. That's an upside down sawtooth. I'm not sure what that's
you just
called.
got a little bit of everything.
Type. That's called a full. Oh, that's a half. That's type is a half. That's a step. Okay, that is a step right there.
Cool. Well, there's your sawtooth.
There's your step. It's called a step right. Look at that. That step goes up to nowhere, man. Let's see if I can get.
You're starting to reach the limits of the resolution, and you can see the D to A kicking in.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got. Go back to generator and try another one. Oh, there's a sawtooth right there. That is a true sawtooth right there. That's a sawtooth. Yep, that's a sawtooth. And see what else we got here. Another sawtooth. I guess if you're cutting the other way, you know. That's a triangular. There's a square wave, man. It does look square. Yep, looks pretty square. Cool.
That's not a bad scope for $150.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing with it. See what we can figure out. I've never used the scope a lot over all the years myself. I've never really had to. I have on a few occasions used one, but
that's usually one of the first tools I go for. If I don't have the voltmeter, I run straight to the scope because, like I say, it's got the frequency output, it's got the voltage output, and the display, so I don't have to think and calculate what the frequency and stuff is.
Yeah, I like right here. I'm seeing voltage average 49 millivolts, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I'm seeing voltage peak to peak. Actually, it's showing 0. Voltage average is 0. Well, that's on scope 2, input 2. So there's 0 on those. Voltage peak to peak 2.58 volts. DIV, what's that? That's the division, vertical division, maybe 5. Let's set it at 5 volt. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a lot of learning. But
Yeah.
what do you think, Bill? Do you think let's see if I can turn it off?
Bill's signing on to Amazon to order his right now.
You know, I'm thinking, and once I unplug at 5 volts, it goes off. I mean, there's no battery. I'm thinking that I can open this sucker up, and I can put me a 5. Well, let's see. I need 5.
Why
volts,
not
so.
just put some Velcro on the back and get one of those USB battery packs? You know, those portable power packs. And just Velcro it on the back.
Yeah. I could do
Do
that.
not void that warranty this soon.
Yeah, I could just plug that in here and take. Hey, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'll.
just
That's
one
what
of
I'll
those
do.
little USB battery packs.
Now it has a USB output. I'm not sure.
That's
I
probably
could
for taking screen captures.
Yeah, that's for taking screen captures, and you probably
Probably put a
can't
thumb
power
drive
it.
in here.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read enough. I don't know if I can actually see. Well, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to see the screen on a PC. I don't think. I don't
Actually,
think
with mine, I can.
you can. Maybe that will come out of the USB. I don't know.
You know, I think there's a little app that runs on my PC,
Yeah.
and you can actually control some of the scope functions over the app.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of function keys here. I have no idea what they do. Oh boy. Look at that. That's more than I want to know right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very impressive.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of function keys that we can do there. What is SPIC? Data saved. Oh, I saved picture.
There you go.
There we go. I just saved a picture. Let's see what else we got. There's the menu. S wave. Data saved. I don't know what that is.
No, you're gonna have to read the book.
V clear. Oh, I don't know. Put my lines back on here. Horizontal clear.
Yeah, that's like one of these newfangled rigs. Without the book, you have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, here's a knob here. I haven't turned this knob yet. I don't know what that does. I wonder what that does. Any guesses?
I think that sets the 30-second self-destruct.
I'm gonna turn it. Oh. It moves the little. It moves the vertical line.
Yeah, it's kind of like the cursor.
It moves
so
the
that you
vertical
can-
line, and then do we have one to move the horizontal line?
I'm sure you do.
I don't know where it is.
Well, that may be the position on the channel itself.
All right. Let's plug it in and see if scope 2 works. Or I'm going to plug it in on 2 here. There it is. All right. Yep. Cool. All right. I don't know what this one does. That's horizontal. It's moving that little thing across the top there.
That's probably selecting your triggering point,
It probably is.
and you're not running triggered, so it's not really doing a whole lot at this point.
Okay. Hey, here's something here we haven't even touched on yet, man. Mode, edge,
That's the triggering.
and CHX. Let's see what mode does. Well, okay. I don't know. Mode gives me.
Yeah,
I have
that
no
looks like
idea.
that's your triggering controls.
And then let's see. That would be edge. Yeah, I don't know what it does. So this thing is supposed to automatically, you got an auto function, you got a manual function, and so forth. So if you're not good with a scope, trying to dial in say a sine wave or something, you don't know where to set it. This has got an automatic function that will try to hit that as close as possible, and lock it in. So that'd be kind of cool. All right. Well, hey, there it is. Right out of the box today. Let's see what it says on the back.
On the back, I think it says "Do not turn upside down."
Probably do not weld with it.
Yeah.
Bandwidth 100 megahertz. Sampling rate one GS per second.
Yeah, it's 1 gigasample per second.
Oh, 1 gigasample per second. Okay, is that okay? Is that good?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Number of
That's,
channels 2.
Okay.
That's 10 times oversampling.
That's a 100 meg scope. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Input impedance 1 meg.
See, Tom, you're costing me more money on this episode.
Yeah. You think would you like to have one of these, Bill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can never have enough.
50.
Oscilloscope.
It'll measure, I think, up to 400 volts or something. I was reading about the times 100 probe. Sensitivity 50 millivolt to 500 volt. Time base 50 second to 10 nanoseconds. Trigger is sine, normal, and auto. Coupling AC/DC, input voltage with a 1 times 40 volt. Let's see. Screen capture 1000. I don't know. Does that mean I can capture 1,000 pictures?
That's maybe what I'm thinking.
I don't know. Waveform storage 1,000. Measurement 12 types. Generator support. Signal type 14 types. Intercept output. Support size. I don't know. That's pretty cool. That's about the size of a transistor radio I had once.
Yeah.
That's
sweet.
And back years ago, man, a scope would weigh, 50 pounds back in the day.
Oh, heck, more than that.
Oh, yeah. Let's just turn it off. And it's off. All right. Well, so everybody got a chance to look at my new scope there that I haven't used yet. And
now somebody mentioned in the chat room that this is not a radio, so this is not a Kathy approved device.
not a Kathy approved. Well, I didn't tell her I ordered it. Hey, it comes with a manual. This surprised me. The print's almost large enough to read. Actually,
yeah,
it is.
The mere fact that it came with a manual is quite impressive.
I get stuff all the time that don't have a manual, man. Let's look at one of these scope leads here. Let's see. It comes with a BNC. I guess this is for the generator output right here. Probably that's for the output. Let's look at and I don't know. You got I guess a probe end goes on one of the scope probes. Let's just check this out here. It's let's see how long it is. That's at least a 4.5 foot scope probe, at least. These are time 1 and time 10.
Not bad at all.
Look like pretty good quality. Right here, pretty good. So I got 2 of the time 1 or time 10, and we got 1 of the times 100. There's the times 100 probe right there. All right. Oh yeah. Hey, hey, and the little packages that hold these things are pretty nice packages too. They're not just cheap plastic. They're tough plastic, and these things actually tuck in and seal them up here. Let me see if I can get that in there like they did. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I thought they gypped me on one of my cords, but no, they're the same. All right, we'll let you know how it does over the next few. It's going to be probably a month or two before I really get into it and use it. All right, well, Bill, you going to order you one?
I think he already has.
He's probably out ordering right now. Yeah. Now you can find it under different.
Amazon.
If you look on Amazon, you will find it under different names. You'll see it listed under different names, but it'll be the very same scope. Now, in my reading and studying, in all the reviews, it appeared that this one here, the F Nurse, whatever it's called, it had the latest or the best firmware, and it worked better. People bought some of the other brands, and once they loaded that first, I can't say it, man. Once they loaded that firmware into their scope, it worked properly. So that's the reason I ordered that one. But you can find them anywhere from about $167 to $187 probably in there, and you can probably even find some higher than that.
I'm a firm believer in having an oscilloscope in your arsenal of tools.
You had to have several.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've got a 465 in the closet that used to be my main one until I got this little guy I got here. Mine's the Regal, not the Regal, the Handtech.
Those Regals, they have things that look very similar, and they look really professional. I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought it was at first.
Yeah, I think all these are copies from each other.
Yeah, now they are.
Yeah.
But wait until you tie that to the computer and start getting the traces where you can screenshot them and stuff like that. That is really nice.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
What did you search for, Tom? Dual trace oscilloscope?
Yeah, just search for 100 meg dual trace oscilloscope, and I guarantee you that will come up. That one will come up. Not a question.
No. What was the name on that one? HN?
No, this is
FN something.
FNIRSI. F Nurse. I don't know. I'm gonna make me a new label and put over that something I can pronounce.
Scope.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it KUB scope. That's what I call it. Yeah, let's see. All right.
The good news is they put fiber past our house. Even though I live out in the boonies, and they say within a month or two I might have 2 gig internet instead of 1 meg.
That's
That'll
good.
be nice.
That's good. You're
I see 1 million oscilloscopes.
Are you? Did you just go to Amazon? Type in
That's what
Amazon.com.
I'm on.
Amazon.com, and then just type that brand name in, and it'll pull it up.
Right.
Yeah, Clifton KE8FTH
Okay,
has put the link to it in the chat.
FN, what was it?
Oh man,
IRSI.
I'm gonna have to write it on the
What's
wall. FNIRSI.
1014D is in dog.
FNIRSI. I'm not gonna read it anymore. I'm gonna rename it.
The nursing.
Yeah, but you'll find them under different names. You'll see the picture. You'll see the picture, and they'll be under a bunch of different names. I can't believe it's not pulling up. Your internet must be blocking you or something, man.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
You can't do a video call and search at the same time.
It kind of reminded me back in the old dial-up
It's
days.
1.5 take down and 0.2 up.
You're reminding me back in the dial-up days.
It's not much better than dial-up.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I think
I
what
see
we'll
a
do.
tablet up there.
Hey guys, let me just give you an update.
There, right?
You,
Is
do,
it
you
the
say,
Finersi,
yeah. You find it?
the 101D?
Yep.
1014D?
Yeah.
That's correct.
1014D.
All right, let's see it. Yeah, very cool.
And you should see other brands there. They're going to vary in price about 30 or 40 bucks.
Right.
All right, guys. Let me give you just a quick update on W5KB12. Not sure where it is. Let's see, where's my mouse at? My mouse is gone. There it is. Let's see if I can get
North
it in
Pole.
here. Man, it is somewhere up there.
Probably in the North Pole.
I don't know where it is. You can see on the map there where it was last reported, but that was 7 days ago. It was heading north.
Well, you know it's getting close to
It was
Christmas.
heading
The
towards the
ants,
pole.
So
Yeah.
I ran a high split prediction, and not knowing where it was after 7 days, it's pretty hard to run a prediction. But at that altitude, it looked like things were going to the east and curving up about where that spot is right there, where I got that circle. If you look at that little graph I've got at the bottom, that graph shows the sun elevation, maximum sun right there. You can see the symbol of the sun, and if you look right there, the maximum elevation there at noon is like 14 degrees. So that's up there around that circle. So, I don't think we got any sun to work from in that part of the world. We need about 20 degrees, and maximum sun is about 14 or 15 degrees. So I haven't given it up yet. I haven't heard from it in a week. I think it's still flying, but I really don't know where. Somewhere, someday, it's going to pop out, and it will surprise us. I'm guessing it's going to pop out over Canada, but who knows? It could pop out over England. I have no idea. So, what do you think, Bill? You got any wild guesses? Did Bill freeze up?
looks
on
like
us?
Bill's frozen.
Yeah, we got to get Bill better internet connection here. All right, let me get the phone. Let me get the.
I think the ants, it's getting real close to Christmas, so I think the ants needed to drop off and take a second job working for Santa.
Well, they might. They might do it.
That's where they disappeared because, all you're paying them is in sugar cubes.
That's true. And I tell you, they may stay up here so long that they run out. They may.
Yeah, you're going to have to send up a refueling flight.
Well, they may have to come back down if they start getting hungry. What
Oh,
am
you
I
don't
doing?
want them to come down. No, you need to arrange for a resupply mission.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I just posted the Zoom link in there if you guys would like to join us on Zoom. Just connect to that link there, and that'll put you in the show. And again, you're listening to or watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio. We're on every Tuesday night on W5KUB.com. And you may be listening to us on international shortwave on 7490 kilohertz WBCQ. So shoot us an email to tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. Join our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB, 13,000 hams in that. And also right here, let me give you a hint. Here's what I need you guys to do right there. I need you to follow that arrow right there. Follow that arrow. And please subscribe to it. Let's see who we got here. We got Bill just joined us. And I see Bill Brown is back. Are you there, Bill? Bill Brown? He's there. But he's
muted
not
still.
talking. He's not talking. All right.
I'm back. Keep going out on it.
Yeah.
Been report.
Man, you remind me of back in the old dial-up days, man. I'm not talking 33.6. I'm talking
It's not.
I'm talking 14.4 or 9.6 or something. I don't know, man.
Glenn, you're muted.
I know. How about
This is
2400?
300
Yeah.
baud. This is 300 baud.
Oh, yeah, the 300
hey,
baud.
hey,
I'm actually at 300 baud.
Well,
Hey, my first modem was at 110 with the ear cups.
Yep,
Oh,
yep,
boy.
110.
I remember that.
I
I've
worked on
got one of those in the barn.
I worked
Lord.
on many. I worked on many at 110, and when I was in the Air Force, believe it or not, we were looking at 50 baud.
Yeah.
That is that's getting down here. That is so
plan to
slow.
get
That
the
is so
radio?
slow. None of the enemy could probably even copy it today. It's so
Our footage
slow.
is still out, so for now we're in the blind.
What was that? What?
I want to know if Glenn got his radio.
Not yet.
You should have took Tom's, and when that came, you could have used it.
I wouldn't have had time to use it. I mean, I'm just going crazy working in the lab and stuff right now. I mean, it's flat out build and code time right now, getting ready to be flat out writing time.
Seems like probably the ignorant guys.
And where are the girls? They run off on you again?
Yeah, I put their toy away, so they want nothing to do with me, but I don't know what it is, but Godzilla decided she wanted to come in here tonight.
Uh-oh.
And you
Look
might have
out.
seen her. She will come up and start tapping me on the arm.
I couldn't see you. You were up in the.
Yeah, but she will start tapping you on the arm, and then you turn to her, and she wants you to pick her up.
Oh, but that was Rodan you picked up, though.
Yeah, because Rodan got jealous. These are two sisters, and I mean, they act just like human sisters. You know, what one gets, the other has to get.
All right. Hey, I have to officially tell everybody this is the after the show, okay? We have now moved into the after the show, Amateur Radio Roundtable.
Sorry, looks like no guys got here after all their engagement last night from Southeast. Pretty chicken fire?
Yep. Where are they?
Who's that coming from? That must be coming from.
Bill, what you got going on your radio or whatever?
Oh, excuse me. I stand corrected.
All right. Well, anyway, we're in the after the show now, guys. This is a new show that's an hour after Amateur Radio Roundtable. So it's still about ham radio or whatever we want to talk about. Sometimes it ain't ham radio, but
Yeah, sometimes it's cats or fire detect or smoke detectors.
yeah.
Yeah, that too.
It's like right now, we've got one complaint already in the chat room. they're having to mute their audio because your chirp makes their dog go crazy.
Yay!
All right. So I just want you to know that.
Yeah. Bill's got a little chalkboard. Okay, boy, I got
Yeah.
one today.
I'm keeping track. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Between the remote test sessions, and this kid said to me, "What's that beep?" I go, "Oh, I don't know. Where is it?"
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, this new air conditioner, it is so funny because the house is, you can feel the air coming out of the vents is so cold that the cats are now active again. When it was warm, they wouldn't move. It was too hot to move. Now they're tearing the place up. They've got 3 days worth of saved up energy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, taking a battery and float charging it for a month. They're ready to rock. It's going to be bad about 3 o'clock this morning.
No, you'll be in bed sleeping,
Uh-huh.
and they'll be raising hell.
And they will, well, here's the problem. You have 22 pounds or 15 pounds being chased by 22 pounds, and the obstacle course runs over my stomach.
Oh, nice.
So at 3 a.m., I get, I get the double thump. It's kind of like a semi running over something.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, you should be here at that wake up time. At
Oh,
7
no.
a.m., I get 22 pounds right here, and I get that cold, wet nose right there. And you fly out of bed.
She wants to be fed.
Yeah. Can't you wait an extra 5 minutes?
Oh, you couldn't leave it out overnight. They wouldn't eat it.
No. No, the wait staff must be 5 minutes early or, there will be consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just looked at my schedule. Do you realize I don't have a ham fest or anything on my list right now until like Orlando?
Oh, let me ask you something. Would you want to do your, a visitor. Would you like to do your presentation, say, December 1st?
Let me double check my calendar.
Oh, no,
to
I'm
be
just, January or February. I mean,
yeah.
know.
I think I actually do have a presentation in December. I'll look at that real quick.
Guys, though, we've been flying
101 days.
101
That's
days.
impressive. That is really impressive.
Yeah. Who we
Tom,
can't
I'm
see.
going to sign out. My internet's too unstable tonight.
All right. All right,
Yeah,
Bill.
you'll
We'll see
have that fiber soon.
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
I hope so.
you will.
Okay, let's see here.
All
Hey,
right.
do your
we're-
cats perk up their ears when Bill's smoke alarm beeps?
Nah, they don't even flinch. Oh, I do have a presentation
Where's
in
Charlie tonight?
October.
We need more people. Let me play
Yeah,
post
we need
link
more
again.
people.
We need more people in here. We got the same old boring people in here again tonight.
Yeah, if we don't get more people, I'm going to start talking more cats.
All right.
No, that's Rodan.
We don't want that. Let's
Yes.
get more people in here. Somebody come on in here and talk to me. We got anybody in here that does EME? I'd like to hear from
Yeah,
you.
that's
if you
gonna
do
be
EME.
fun. Yeah, Bill, I don't have anything on my calendar that's showing for December. I want to say I have somebody in December, but I can't find it right now.
Well, I'll text you.
Yeah. For some reason, December 3rd rings a bell, but there's nothing on my calendar, so who knows?
Let me see. Oops. Calendar. December. I don't know.
Oh, now you're going to make me go back through my emails and double check.
No.
I need to know, because if I sign somebody up, I need to know when I'm doing it.
Well, wouldn't they connect with you again before you?
Oh, I'm sure they will, but I really don't want a conflict.
No, I don't want a conflict either. I've already had one. They say find people, and then they say, "Oh, well, somebody snuck one in here." Oh well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not showing any, so
All right, I'll let you. I'll get back with you. I just got to check with people.
I've got one for October 6th with the Central Arkansas, not Arkansas, Central Arizona DX Club. They want the new presentation now. That new one has really become popular.
Good. I'm still waiting on your book, though. I called the ARL, and they said, "Oh, well, we can't find any." Oh, really? About time you print some.
Yeah, what's going on with that? They can't keep it in stock, or what?
I went down there twice to get the book, and it wasn't there. I called twice on the phone, and they said, "Oh, we don't have it." And I'm saying, "Well, where is it?"
Is it out of print, or
well,
they just
I
out
asked
of
the
stock?
girl. That's what I asked the girl. I says, "Is it out of print?" I says, "Did you send it to a Hamfest that Well, Milwaukee's what, this weekend? They may have sent it there for all I know."
They generally don't send their books to a Hamfest. Orlando and Dayton are the only two that I know of that they set up their bookstore. They don't even bring them to Huntsville.
Oh, they did. They didn't bring it to New England. I was checked.
Yeah, they generally do not bring the bookstore to Hamfest other than Dayton and Orlando.
I'm due for another trip down to Newington.
But it's still in print, and they just don't have it in stock. That's amazing. And that kind of jives with what Jackie Ferreira told me at, was it Dayton? But she said basically that, they can't keep it in stock.
You're popular.
Which is a good thing. I'm lucky.
You're popular.
It was a classic case of right time, right place, right idea.
And
it was. It was one of those perfect storm kind of things. And I mean, I'm grateful for that, for the whole thing. And it's been one heck of a ride, and the ride ain't even close to being over right now. There's lots of other stuff in the works. But I mean, right now, the latest count is I need to come up with like 6 or 7 more books.
Hey, you're going into your old age there.
Yeah, I'm pretty, I'm going to have to retire from work to catch up on the books. And that was actually one of the things we were talking about in the pre-show today. Right now, they just switched me to a 3-day in the office work week instead of a 2-day in the office work week. And they're threatening to make it a 5-day work week. And I've basically said, if it goes to 5 days, I'm retiring.
Yep.
I have finally reached that point of the pandemic really messed things up, changed things, whatever. And to the point that I don't want to work a 5-day work week anymore. So I can understand all of these people that don't want to go to work. It's like, no, I don't want to drive across town. I mean, Memphis traffic in rush hour, it's like you're in the middle of a Grand Prix race on a bicycle.
I sampled that once.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. It was, I got up at 6. I had breakfast. I got in the car at 7. And I got out there on, what is that, 240?
240, yeah.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. And then, I said, well, I got to get to the airport.
Oh, good luck with that.
Well, my plane wasn't until 10, but I wanted to get there earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But, yeah, And like I say, the way that 240 runs, it is literally, you're in the middle of a road race with those 200-mile-an-hour cars, and you're out there on a bicycle because they are just passing you on all sides, and it don't matter how fast you're going.
Well, one night Max, K1MAX, took me down to the Rendezvous, and I swear to God, you thought it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yes. Well, Tom needs to hop in here and tell us about some of the Arkansas chases that he watches on YouTube. But I mean, they're getting up to 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're supercharged Dodge cars, and they're Challengers and Chargers.
Yeah, I watched a good one last night, man. It was about an hour long. It was good. It was good, man.
But I mean, they get up to speeds 150 plus, and I'm just like, good heavens.
Yeah, well, I hope they get them. Must be the moonshine drivers.
It's just Memphis drivers, man.
The problem with a bicycle out there, you don't have a place to put your gun.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's the only problem. See, in your car, you can kind of just stick it there in between the seat.
Hi, Rodan.
Ever since the air conditioner got fixed, they have just been, live wires. They love the cold weather. And that's kind of almost triggering a season change for them, because I don't think the air conditioner's been this cold in years. It turns out that the coils were just jammed, clogged with dirt and dust. And my compressor was only 25 years old, so the company was like, yeah, we can clean your coils for $1,000 or so, but you're going to need a new compressor in a couple of years. And I'm like, you know what? Do it. I don't want to deal with it.
Is it an installed air conditioner?
Yeah, and it's in a little tight closet.
Oh, wow.
And the old one didn't have any access point to get to the coils to clean them. You had to tear it all out. This new one actually has a little door that you can get in and clean the coils. So that alone was worth the money.
$1,000.
Yeah, it was substantially higher than $1,000.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but now I get a guy that's got to come out and fix the pool. Pool's got a little leak, so there's another 1,000 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Oh, at least you don't have to drain it and put tire tubes in there and to keep the thing from cracking like we do up here.
True, very true. Hey, but at least, and you can't see it here, I've got the shelves put back up. So the 101 is going to probably go on a shelf this week.
Are you close to where you can put an antenna to it? Do you have a patch panel?
I have a patch panel, yes, and all of the cables are on the floor. The only antenna that is not operational at this point is the cobweb. Everything else is working, tuned, and everything. And the cobweb, the pine trees and the ice storm last year did a number on all those little stringers. So I got to get up there and restring it. I got the wire. I just don't have the time or the heat. Like Tom's talking about, he's going to be out there in 104-degree heat tomorrow putting his rotors back up.
I don't know.
That's too hot for me.
Yep.
Well, if he gets out there at 7 before the sun's really up overhead,
It's
7.
I stand corrected, sir.
He's retired.
Yeah.
I don't think he's seen 7 a.m.
Man. Hey,
years.
Glenn, look, man, I ordered these. Hey, I ordered these the other day. Got them in.
What you got?
They're the little,
Little
clip
clips, yeah.
You press it and get. I use these a lot on little miniature
I do
stuff.
too. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
Boy, you can clip these things on, and these are kind of cool. Hey, the wire feels like it's that silicone. It feels very flexible.
Nice.
They feel
Very
very
nice.
flexible. They've got the banana plug on the end, and they actually even have another socket on the banana plug where you can actually plug them together if you wanted to.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
Plug it in a power supply, and you can come out, with 2 different cables or whatever.
that's nice.
So yeah. So I've got a few of these, but I use them so much that I thought, well, let me just go ahead and get a few more here.
Yeah, I'm about to change this computer system out, and I'm ordering the monitors for it tomorrow morning. I've got one that I'm building over on the lab table. And this ancient Windows 7, this system's probably 12 years old.
Yeah.
And it's Windows 7, and I've got a brand new Windows 11 system that I'm in the process of building, and I'm going to order a pair of nice 24-inch monitors and finally move up from my 19-inch monitors.
Nice.
So
Well, hey
I'm
man,
moving
hey,
to
tell me
21st
about
century.
Windows. I've upgraded to 10 in places, but I'm hearing some bad things about 11. Maybe just people don't like it, but are they going to a subscription service for 11 where you have to pay every year for it?
I haven't heard about that yet.
I don't believe for 11. They keep talking about it, but they keep getting so much pushback on that. I don't see that happening. Now, I think they're going that way with Microsoft Office.
Oh, they've
Oh
already
yeah.
done that.
Oh yeah.
And,
You got to do that every year,
Yeah.
or else.
But I think all the software folks, I think Adobe and Photoshop went that route. I bought the paid version just before they switched that up.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not a fan of subscription software or licensing like that.
Well, I'll tell
I
you,
like to buy it and it's mine.
we need to come up with an operating system that'll boot up in about 1 second.
Called Linux.
And boy, we would, if we could replace 8 billion operating systems in the world and just charge $1 a piece for them,
No, I mean go Linux. That's
Well, yeah.
really that will
Well-
give you everything that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And Linux is really advanced to the point that it's not all that different. Once you get used to it, it's stable, it's more reliable, and you don't have to worry about them pulling an update 30 minutes before the show.
Yeah. I took a couple of my laptops and I put, what is it, Ubuntu or Ubuntu?
yeah.
It's
Ubuntu, yeah.
the free Linux version. I've got that on them. And they do pretty good. I mean, if you want, for our show and stuff, if you want to use a browser or whatever, they're fine. And
Yeah.
they've got their own little Word document.
The Open Office.
Open Office for it. So it's not totally bad.
No. And, I almost went that route, but I'm like, I just have too much Windows stuff right now. And I'm
Yeah.
rolling so fast on the book stuff that I don't want to be distracted with changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's on that computer to your left there, behind you?
What does it look like is on it?
No, I'm saying, is it Windows 7?
Yes. That is my backup system / video editing graphics. That's the monster.
Okay.
I've
that's-
got a few XPs still around here. I probably have 10 laptops here that we've been using for the show. When we go to Dayton and places, and over the last 10 years, and they were XP. They always worked really well, but I was able to upgrade a number of them to Windows 10.
Yeah. No, this is still running 7, but it's got it's got a high-end processor and a boatload of memory in it, and that's what I use for any kind of photo editing, video editing, any horsepower applications get it. This one is my writing / whatever general purpose type machine, and then I've got another one over in the lab, and that's a little all-in-one, and that's where I do all the Arduino software work. Then, of course, I have a laptop and a company laptop and the new one that I'm building over on the desk over there. But the new
I
one's
thought I
going to
was bad
replace.
having 5.
But the new one is going to replace this one. This one's going to stay at Windows 7 until I reach a breaking point in the books. Simply because I do not want to have to deal with switching all of the video editing and photo editing software in the midstream right now. I mean, you really need to see the book creation process from this end. It's worse than making sausage. I mean, it is, every picture you see in the book has been taken by me probably and edited. The presentations that I do, I just had to do 2 video recordings for the QSO Today Expo. Then, of course, I had to edit the one from the Huntsville show. And, as Tom will tell you, video editing can get quite intensive.
That's the reason I don't do much. That's where my stuff looks pretty crude.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember, you still have to edit the show up here and get it uploaded, don't you?
Well, I'll edit the music off. Mainly is what all I do.
Okay. So that's just
it's just cutting the music off at the first 30 minutes of the show.
But I'm the same as you. I try to do my recordings in one take.
Yep.
And have it so I don't have to edit it. But invariably, you cannot talk for 30 minutes without making a mistake.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like, do I want to restart just for that one, or do I want to think about editing, or just leave it? And 90% of the time, I'll just leave it.
I just got a reminder that I'm volunteering for the Vietnam Memorial Moving Wall starting tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and
I have never seen that wall.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the 3rd year in a row that I've seen it someplace within 20 miles of my home, and
wow.
I volunteer for it every year.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They saw me coming and canceled the draft, so I kind of skipped that. They were like, no, we do not want him anywhere near our hardware. So I did my share by working with the jet engine research folks during that time frame. I mean, I was there when they were doing the engines for the SR-71, the 14, the 15, 16, and a few that we can't talk about.
Right.
And it was real cool because everything they did was just pure jet engine research.
I was watching a guy give a presentation. I think it was the SR-71.
That's a heck of a plane.
He was standing in front of the engine. I think the engine looked like it was like 30 feet long.
Yeah, it's a monster. It's a ramjet.
And it's a ramjet. And he said, this is hard to believe. He said that engine grows 6 feet in length as I guess it gets hot or whatever.
6 feet is kind of big. I would believe 6 inches, but wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This guy, I think he was one of the original designers and worked on it for many years. And
well,
it was on. I think it was on A&E. It was on A&E, and it was a special.
Yeah,
but it was.
If you've ever seen it on the ground, it is just fuel is pouring out of it while it's running. I mean, it's like, why do you put fuel in this thing? It's all going to end on the tarmac. But when they get it at speed and altitude, it expands and all of those joints seal right back up.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing when you think titanium expanding however long. I mean, if you're talking 6 feet on whatever the engine material is, I'd assume titanium, you're talking some serious heat there.
Yeah.
But I know when we tested, we actually had to have a turbojet ahead of it to compress the air so that it would run, because it was the ramjet. I mean, that was just a fun job. I really hated to see that job go away.
Modern technology keeps evolving.
Well, yeah. I mean, this was the height of the Cold War, and once the Cold War ended, it was kind of like they slowed down. The facility is still there, but it's nothing like it was when I was there in the 70s and 80s. And of course, the data acquisition technology back then was changing so fast. It was just absolutely amazing. We were running, in 1984, we were running 30,000 samples a second on a 12-bit analog to digital converter. And, you know, now you can get that on a little chip.
Yeah.
$3 and tie it to your Arduino. Oh, and you can get a 16-bit instead of the 12-bit.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Oh, those machines were monsters. They had a whopping 64K of RAM. Was it a 4 megahertz clock? And they were considered the state of the art.
Mm.
Yeah, and WD8IOL in the chat room's correct. The titanium that they needed to build the SR-71, they got through a whole bunch of shell companies from Russia.
Yeah, the some of the facts here it grows 3 to 4 inches at altitude in length.
I would believe the 6 inches.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and pull that up again because I'm almost certain the guy said that, but
he might have made a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was so funny. I didn't know that until about a year or two ago that, you know, they used a whole bunch, kind of like the way Walt Disney bought all the land in Florida for Disney World. You know, they did it through a whole bunch of shell companies, so nobody looked like they were buying a lot. And same with the titanium, you know, all these little itty bitty companies buying the titanium for the U.S. military. So in effect, Russia, you know, gave us the SR-71. Now they've actually got one of those on display over at the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's right out front there. You can see it from the highway. But yeah, it was always fun because we also had Sikorsky Flight Research was just on the same grounds. This was a 5-mile long facility because everything was so spread out. And every morning you'd come in and the Black Hawk helicopter is hovering over the tarmac because they would only fly it at dusk and dawn to avoid the Soviet satellites.
Right.
So that was kind of cool. So every morning you'd see that Black Hawk just hovering, getting ready to head to the hangar. And of course, I was buddies with the flight simulator chief because they also had a helicopter pilot training center there with a full-up simulator. And I got to be real good friends with the sim chief, and they used our company's disk drive, so I always was down there doing maintenance, and it was like, let's go flying for the rest of the evening. So we'd go up in the simulator all evening just playing because there were no classes at night. I mean, the early computer days were fun. We had a lot of fun.
Well,
with that
right
stuff.
here it says that the SR-71 was built using a slide rule.
Yep.
Right there.
Kelly Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That man was a genius.
Yep.
But you know, that's the thing. We didn't really have calculators commercially available until the Texas Instrument SR-10 in 1970.
Yep.
73, 72.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
You know, so yeah, I learned my electronics on a slide rule.
Yeah, so back when I was in college and in engineering, Hey, man, I think that's the reason I would have made a lot better grades if I'd had a calculator, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you. I mean, here, I still got it right here, look.
I still got one, too.
There it is right there, man.
Yes, sir.
And if you can build an SR-71 with one of these things right here, you're pretty smart, man. You know?
Yeah. I mean, but those things are very powerful.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to use one, they're an extremely powerful tool.
Yeah. Well, I can still multiply like 2 times 2.
Yeah.
And you
And
can
it-
divide. You can divide that pretty quick too.
Yeah, and do your logarithms and everything.
Oh, logarithms.
And,
no logarithms. And you got the little case here, so you can put that on. You can wear that. You can wear
Yeah.
that case around.
that's
on
the
you.
best place for it to be, in the case. And yep.
Yeah, wear that thing around.
But you're,
with
you're
you.
missing your pocket protector.
Today you'd probably get shot at if you were wearing something like that or arrested.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're also missing the pocket protector that goes with it.
Yeah.
And the guest 7 in the chat room is talking about being stuck with a PDP 11 VO3.
I know what that is.
The
How
first
about a
computer-
PDP 9?
Yeah, I got you beat. The first computer I ever worked on was a PDP 8M.
Oh wow!
And believe it or not, there's a company out there using Arduino and Raspberry Pis to emulate them. And I actually have them, and it looks like the front panel of the PDP 8 and the PDP 11. I bought both of them. And they also have one for the original Altair 8800. And it actually runs the original code.
Wow!
There's a site out there that has all of that old original code, and there's all kinds of processor emulators for virtually every mini computer from that era that will run on a Pi. And there's a company selling the PDP 8, PDP 11, and Altair, and I bought all 3. I just need to assemble them. But yeah, it's really cool, the fact that something like an Arduino or a Pi can emulate those monster computers we had way back in the day. Yeah, learning Fortran on punch cards. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, I used to have to do, I had to write Fortran programs and key punch them in, and I had to maintain the card readers and the card punches, and that was, you had to be part car mechanic back then. It was.
Are you telling me the SR-71 had a card reader on it?
No. I'm saying the computers that I worked on did.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they had punch cards on it.
Yeah. That's the fuel.
Yeah.
Feed it punch cards, and it burns them like coal. But yeah, I mean, my programming started out with Fortran on card punches. Key punches, just banging away. The heads on the disk drive of the supercomputer I was working with were powered by hydraulic fluid, not servo motors. And this is the same class of machine that was used to put man on the moon.
Oh.
Yeah, Kevin, I used Fortran 4 as well. I was at the Pratt & Whitney facility when we rolled out 77. But I never had to learn COBOL, though. Never did COBOL or RPG, but I pretty much wrote in every other language there is.
It was bad enough having to do it.
Yep. Now, y'all are talking Fortran. Let's go back into time with DEC and start talking Focal. Formula Calculator, FOCAL. That was one of the early PDP languages. Yeah, and timeshare too. I had a modem, and I was on the Miami-Dade UNIVAC 1103 using timeshare, and of course there were several DEC 1145s running Ristus for timeshares, and we all had accounts on those through the companies we were working with and the colleges and stuff.
Well, guys, we almost are out of time tonight, and I'm getting hunger pains.
Yeah, and Kevin, we had the IBM System 7, so yeah, we're real close. I was trained on the 360, 370, but never had to touch it.
Oh, you don't know what you missed.
Yeah, Now, I was control data, and we had the disk drives on those things, but I was predominantly a mini computer guy, so I had their System 17 Cyber 18 line.
When I worked for the Department of the Navy in Arlington, Virginia, they had the 360 and the 370. And we did enlisted projections once a month, okay? And 9 times out of 10, one of those machines would go down, and the stuff would get backed up in the queue. And the senior chief data processing technician said, look, we're going to do something funky. He says, we're going to teledyne it to Cleveland. They have a 4341, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Computer. He says, we'll start it there. He says, and bring it back. And I says, why don't we do the whole thing?
Well, did you know that the IBM System 7 had a remote shutdown button? And if you press that button, it would shut down the dual 4341s that were 5 miles away. Don't ask me how I know about that.
All I know is I got paper back within the hour, and I was really, really impressed.
Yeah. No, we saw that button on the System 7 and said, what does this do?
Oh, don't do that.
And we actually pushed it, and then we get a phone call from the other end saying, did we do anything? Both 4341s were rebooting. And we went, no, we haven't touched a thing.
Don't know
of course,
what
fortunately, the statute of limitations has run out on all of this.
Right. You don't have right now.
But we were so far out in the Everglades that frequently they would have signs on the entrance to the computer room building, use back door, alligator has front door. Because it was all a fenced-in facility, and we had Everglades, behind us. And the alligators would come up wanting to cross the street, and they couldn't, and they'd just end up right at the front door of the computer blockhouse, and they were not happy, and they'd just lay there because they were frustrated. So they'd have to get a guard down to come and open the fence, and then they'd get a piece of 20-foot all-thread rod and a couple guys and shove him on through the gate and then close it again.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to shut it down. It's the end of our time tonight, and just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on Shortwave and listening. You've been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, and you can tune in live Tuesday nights at 8:00 p.m. on Central Time by going to w5kub.com. 73. Good night to everybody, and we'll see you next week.
7-3.
Yep. Good night.
All right, so let me end the video. Oh, for some reason it had already ended itself. That's strange.
Oh, wow. Hopefully you started it.
Well, I did. It's flashing. Flashing. I think flashing means, with this new version, flashing means it's still operating. It's just operating at a slower rate or something.